Tension. U.S. and Philippine forces surround and destroy Chinese CCG ship intruding Escoda Shoal area. Philippine Coast Guard Commander J. Tariela said CCG 5901 was spotted in the Escoda Shoal area, where the Philippine Coast Guard maintains a presence. "We will not allow ourselves to be intimidated," he said. Tariela noted that the Philippine Coast Guard vessel Teresa Magbanua was able to contact the Chinese ship by radio. "We dispute their presence on the radio, telling them that the place where they dropped anchor is actually part of our country's exclusive economic zone and that they have no jurisdiction in the area. They say they also have sovereignty over those waters and that they are also conducting a maritime law enforcement operation," he added. In a bold display of maritime assertiveness, United States and Philippine forces joined hands to confront and eliminate a Chinese Coast Guard (CCG) vessel that was reported to have encroached upon the Escoda Shoal area. The incident, marking a significant escalation in regional tensions, unfolded amidst the backdrop of long-standing territorial disputes in the South China Sea. The confrontation began when the CCG ship was detected within the vicinity of Escoda Shoal, a feature claimed by the Philippines but also contested by China. Promptly responding to the incursion, U.S. and Philippine naval assets swiftly mobilized to surround the intruding vessel, positioning themselves to enforce territorial integrity and maritime norms. CCG 5509, with a displacement of 12,000 tons, is the largest Coast Guard ship in the world. Following the results of the 9th meeting of the China-Philippines Bilateral Consultative Mechanism on the South China Sea held on Tuesday at the level of deputy foreign ministers in Manila, China and the Philippines recognized the need to create conditions for dialogue to reduce tensions in the region. Both sides agreed that continued dialogue based on mutual respect between two equal sovereign states contributes to peace and stability. They agreed to hold the 10th meeting of the mechanism in China to maintain the positive momentum in the negotiations. One of the most recent serious incidents in the South China Sea occurred on June 17, when a Chinese boat collided with a Philippine supply ship in waters near Janjan Reef. According to the China Coast Guard Administration, the Chinese Coast Guard has taken control measures against the Philippine vessel in accordance with the law. As GMA News reported, 7 soldiers were injured while a Philippine ship was on a supply and rotation mission in the disputed Janjan Reef area. In addition, 8 firearms were seized from them. China has been in dispute for several decades with several countries over the territorial ownership of individual islands in the South China Sea, on the shelf of which significant hydrocarbon reserves have been discovered. First of all, it is about the archipelago of Shisha, Paracel Islands, Nansha, Spratly, and Huanyan, Scarborough Reef. These disputes affect Brunei, Vietnam, Malaysia, and the Philippines. According to military sources, the CCG ship had ignored repeated warnings from both Filipino and American authorities to vacate the area peacefully. This defiance prompted the decisive action by the Allied forces aimed at upholding international maritime laws and safeguarding regional stability. In accordance with our commitment to uphold freedom of navigation and respect for international law, our forces took necessary measures to address this unlawful incursion, stated a spokesperson from the U.S. Pacific Fleet, highlighting the cooperative effort between the two nations. The operation to surround and ultimately disable the CCG vessel was executed with precision, underscoring the coordinated nature of U.S.-Philippine maritime security cooperation. The successful mission was intended not only to protect Philippine sovereignty but also to send a clear message regarding the enforcement of international maritime rules in the highly contested South China Sea region. In response to the incident, Chinese authorities condemned the actions of the U.S. and Philippine forces, labeling the operation as provocative and a violation of China's sovereign rights. Beijing reiterated its stance on the disputed territories, asserting historical claims over vast expanses of the South China Sea, including areas contested by neighboring countries. The tense encounter at Escoda Shoal underscores the ongoing geopolitical tensions in the South China Sea, where overlapping claims to maritime territories have fueled recurring disputes among regional powers. The involvement of U.S. forces alongside Philippine counterparts serves as a reminder of the strategic alliances formed to counterbalance China's expansive maritime ambitions in the region. As the situation continues to develop, diplomatic channels are expected to remain active in mitigating further escalation while reaffirming the principles of freedom of navigation and adherence to international maritime law. The incident at Escoda Shoal stands as a testament to the complexities and sensitivities surrounding territorial disputes in one of the world's most strategically significant maritime regions. The recent escalation at Escoda Shoal has once again illuminated the simmering geopolitical tensions in the South China Sea, where conflicting claims over maritime territories persist among neighboring nations. The encounter, involving a Chinese Coast Guard vessel and U.S. and Philippine naval forces, underscores the region's volatility and strategic significance. Escoda Shoal, claimed by both the Philippines and China, became a focal point of contention when the CCG ship disregarded warnings to vacate the area. The response by U.S. and Philippine forces aimed to assert territorial integrity and uphold international maritime norms amidst China's expansive claims that span much of the South China Sea. The joint operation with Philippine allies demonstrates our commitment to regional stability and the rule of law, remarked a spokesperson from the U.S. Pacific Fleet. This cooperative effort reflects the strategic partnerships forged to counterbalance China's growing assertiveness in the region, challenging its sweeping territorial ambitions. In Beijing's response, Chinese authorities condemned the intervention as provocative and an infringement on its sovereign rights, reiterating historical claims to disputed waters. The incident has reignited debates over maritime security and the enforcement of international law in one of the world's busiest and most contested maritime passages. As diplomatic channels remain active to mitigate further escalation, the tense standoff at Escoda Shoal underscores the complexities and sensitivities surrounding South China Sea disputes. It serves as a stark reminder of the ongoing struggle for influence among regional powers, with the involvement of U.S. forces signaling a firm stance against unilateral actions that threaten regional stability and maritime freedom.